From the Studio Series, it is Transformers the Movie, Bonecrusher. Yes, this is 2 of 6. This one came out same time as Scrapper, and now I'm going to be doing a review. But not just any review, this is a versus review, because I'm putting this up against the Combiner Wars, Bonecrusher. Who are you calling inferior? That's right, just be careful what you say about Bonecrusher, because, you know, he and his pals can get beat by Perceptor. Anyways, I'm going to put up the Studio Series against the Combiner Wars, and we'll see which one is better, but you get to let me know in the comments. Yes, this is my versus review. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Captain Kyle. Welcome aboard. Been watching for a while. Thanks so much for coming back. That's totally awesome. And we are going to have some fun checking out Bulldozer versus Bulldozer. Bonecrusher versus Bonecrusher. Buffalo... No, wait, that was Beast Wars. But let's get into it. Be right back. So yes, the Combiner Wars Bonecrusher was part of the set of 6 Constructicons. Now, I know there's better versions out there. There's the Takara one, which I don't own. This is actually the reissue of the US one, so that's what I got. But someone who doesn't come with all his compatriots is the Studio Series Bonecrusher, and we're going to look at him first, and then, of course, we're going to compare him to his Combiner Wars counterpart. Now, I do have to say, I am hoping that they do put out a box set, but maybe the G2 colors, maybe the G2 orange and yellow. See, you want to make some money, Hasbro. Once these guys are all out, put out a G2 yellow set and put out a G2 orange set. And then maybe put one in the original Diaclone colors. We'll eat that shit up, trust me. With like a purple crane, I don't know, I had a knockoff that was multicolored, and it actually held together better. It was G1 style, held together better than the original. I have a feeling that it went in the purge, but let's not talk about such things. And for those who don't know what the purge is, like 12 years ago, I sold off a lot of my Transformers, and I had like everything at the time, just about, US-wise at least. But anyways, this is the new Bonecrusher on card. Now he's got this out of place, which I'm not happy about, but we'll fix that. Now, I do remember getting the original G1 Bonecrusher. He was the first of the Constructicons I got, and they all came... I didn't get the gift set, I got them individually carded. And I have to say, Bonecrusher was always my favorite because his form, his robot mode, just seemed the best. He had this good chest plate. Yeah, I was looking at his chest. Shut up, Logan. He had a very cool gun and transformation, and he had 2 legs, which some of the Constructicons did not. Now, taking him initially out of the box, I do have to push up his heels, else he won't stand. And let's open up this, again, Autobot paper. Come on, Hasbro. And it has a little block thing in there, little gun thing in there. That appears to be it. I'm not seeing a fist, which, you know, the original Bonecrusher came with his fist. I mean, the Combiner Wars one kind of comes with his fist. But we have instructions, so I'm going to refer to see exactly how they want me to fix his head. And, oh, there it is, shitty piece of paper. Don't need that. All right, so apparently as soon as you take him out of the box, you should turn that downwards. You should take this block and put it on his back. I imagine that is an extension for the arm, and maybe it unfolds into a fist. In fact, let's take a quick peek. No, doesn't seem to have a fist in there. No fisting for Bonecrusher. And he has a gun. It looks kind of similar, though not the same color as the original gun. The original gun was green. So let's zoom in a little bit on this guy and take a look at him. And we will put the instructions aside for now, because we are not transforming him quite yet, and we'll put him on the Turntable of Doom. So just overall, he looks a lot like the original in overall form, which is cool. You know, the kind of squarish head, the shovel on his chest. You know, he does look a lot like he did in the cartoon and the movie as well, which is the whole point of this series. You know, the Studio Series, not this series of videos. Anyway, you get it. So yes, his face looks very cartoon accurate. He's got a Decepticon symbol on his chest, and I didn't need to put it there like I did with the original. And overall, he looks good. Gonna give him another spin on the Turntable of Doom. You can see his black backpack. He is not Dora, but he's got a backpack. And let's get into some posability. I mean, he is a good-looking figure, but I want to see, can he do a full toes-up Jean-Claude Van Damme? And the answer is yes. Now, just like when he was in the package, maybe flatten down the heels if you want him to go flush to the ground. But yes, full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Let's fix those feet and check out his ankle swivels. And he does have them. Super generous too. I mean, you could basically put him in a split and have it flat-footed. I don't know, I guess it would be more trouble to limit them than it is to not limit them when they're putting on these ankle swivels. That's the only reason I can think of why they would be that wide. I can't think of anyone who wants to pose him quite that much of a split. You know, if they want to do the split thing, they'd probably do this on Claude Van Damme, get a couple chairs, have, you know, Don Gibb walk in and be like, that hurts just looking at it. But okay, he can kick forward very nicely. He can kick back. Now, this is probably part of the transformation. There's a little kind of slot peg thing here. You can actually plug into his leg when he's pointing it backwards. So his leg can go really far back. Can also go really far forward if you kind of go slightly off to the side. Otherwise, you're hitting the bottom of the shovel piece. But yeah, that's definitely part of the transformation. He can bend at the knee. Let's see here. Very nicely, 90 degrees. He doesn't have anything to like poke them with while he's kneeing them, and it snaps back straight. Of course, if you stand totally lock leg like that, you're gonna pass out there, dude. The legs also swivel all the way around very nicely. Now, twisting at the waist. Well, he can, but the problem is his chest comes down. His chest is not part of that. So even putting him at a slight angle. So that's kind of a minus, but it'd be nice if the chest, you know, somehow could stay with him as he twisted at the waist, but that's a definite minus in my book. But again, you're judging, so you let me know. The arms go all the way around, off to the side. He can do the YMCA, bends at the elbow, and he's got a swivel. Now looking at the bend, it's not a double jointed bend, just a single bend, so no way to really mess that up. The head turns all the way around, which, you know, it's a square head turning in a circle. Not all my jokes are gonna be good, folks. So his hands are just molded in there and they do not turn. The fists don't turn there, so they're just molded in, kind of reminiscent of the original. So there you go. You can put him in some decent poses. Just, I wouldn't twist him at the waist. And if you put him on a turntable, realize he is gonna probably fall over in some of these poses. But there you go, Bonecrusher in his robot mode. Now he stands, if you go from his canopy top there, he's about 6 inches tall, maybe 5 3/4, a little less if you go from the head, but still very nice, a very good representation of Bonecrusher from G1, not Beast Wars, because he was a friggin' buffalo and was renamed Bighorn in Japan and recolored. All right, let's take a look at the Combiner Wars, and I need to zoom out a bit because he is bigger. Now, I will say there are some minuses to this mold. I'm not giving up this guy, but there's definitely some minuses, and I'm gonna collapse his knees for the moment just so he doesn't fumble around too much. So he does not have a gun per se. Now, I looked on TF Wiki and it says he's got like a sword and other stuff, and it's like the only thing that I'm aware that he has is this big ass missile pod that he uses like a gun and becomes the forearm and fist of Devastator. So I'm not sure what they're trying to say there. I know the San Diego Comic-Con version had more stuff. I know the Japanese ones had more stuff, and they even made some modifications to this mold. This is what I have to compare him to. I mean, I'd break out the G1, but he's attached. And then I'd have to find his little drill missile and his little gun, and I don't feel like digging through my cases of accessories. So here's a picture of the G1. There you go. This is the only accessory. I don't know if there was something else in the Combiner Wars set that I actually should have put with him, but let me know in the comments if there's something that I should have put with the US version. But as far as I'm aware, all the pictures I see, he's got this. All right, now his deco, he's also got the Decepticon symbol on his chest, but his shovel actually goes further back, which is not a bad look at all. It's just slightly not as true to the cartoon or the original G1. Now, I'm sure when I did the review of the whole set of the Devastator, I'm sure I did this, but yes, he can do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme toes up. Now, ankle swivels he also has. And again, super generous. I mean, look at that. He can limbo, man. He can kick forward with his claw foot and kick back really high. Side kick, of course. Now, he has knees in here. He bends at the knee. It's a very high knee. Say hi to your knee. You said hi knee. Yeah, I remember that from when I was very, very young and more immature than I am now, believe it or not. It also swivels at this joint because it's a ball joint. And yeah, my complaint about the legs is, first of all, you got to make them kind of even, and if you extend the knees, you can get it, but it just becomes a little bit more difficult. And it gets taller. twisting at the waist. Yeah, that is not happening. He can twist at the chest a little bit, but I don't recommend it. His arms can go all the way around, can bend at the elbow. Now his arms, you have to be a little careful. If you go down here, you have the swivel, but you could also bend it so that there's more forearm in front, and then you can't swivel it. So just be aware that you need to bend it. It's kind of a double jointed elbow. So the other one doesn't have, which is good. Arms go out to the side, YMCA. Is that the next Jean-Claude Van Damme, the YMCA? Maybe. His fists are also molded in, they don't twist. No articulated fingers, anything like that. And his head turns all the way around. So a similar amount. I'm not happy with the construction of his groin. Shut up, Logan. Because these wiggle very easily and it can pop apart. It has clips that look like it's supposed to snap into place, and I can get it to align somewhat, but it tends to like just pop out. So not a happy thing. If someone has an idea or if I'm doing this wrong, I don't think I'm supposed to be putting his legs like that, because that looks friggin' ridiculous. But yeah, just little looseness along the crotch. Shut up, Logan. And the joint where the leg meets the hip just flopping up and down so easily. Not a happy thing. Now he stands about 7¼ inches tall. So he has got some height on this guy. And of course you can also see that the shade of green is more lime greenish, and original toy and cartoon accurate. On the Studio Series, this one is a little more leaning towards the yellow part of the green spectrum. But they are both good resemblances, good homages to the original Bonecrusher, and size can matter. I mean, we wouldn't have Devastator otherwise, though he did get beat by Optimus Prime's arm with a gun, but still. All right, back to back. Now I do somewhere have a gun that goes into his hand. It's purple. I did a review on that set, but I didn't drag it out for this. So it's third party. We're doing Hasbro. Don't worry though, we'll do some third party versus soon enough. All right, time to transform. Phase 1. And no, we don't have all the guys yet. So there is the Studio Series in construction vehicle mode. I gotta say, it's a pretty cool transformation. I did have trouble. I didn't have one of the arms quite aligned properly when I folded it over, so I had to play around with it, but I got it in place. I think it was more a me thing than a quality thing. But yeah, he's very tight. He's not gonna fall apart. He's got the gun here for gun storage, which is, I mean, not exactly robot in disguise. So let's take that out for now. He's got a Decepticon symbol on the shovel as well, so that's gonna get all dirty. There are no fake wheels, so no roll test. He slides. But overall, he makes a very good vehicle. He's got some purple detailing in the front. His head it's actually similar, not exactly, but almost similar placement to the original G1. And he's got these two little pins here. I guess that makes it easier to separate the treads at the end. But yeah, a very nice vehicle. All right, let's take a look at the Combiner Wars. So there is the Combiner Wars version. Similar, though this canopy does not really cry out G1 to me, or G1 cartoon for that matter. Similar shovel, he's got the Decepticon symbol there, so it can also get dirty. The transformation is actually not entirely dissimilar. There are differences, but they kind of go along similar principles, and he's very locked in here, so these treads are going nowhere. Now he does have two little wheels there, and he actually rolls. He's got wheels here on the extension part, so he actually can do a roll test. So that is actually kind of nice. Definitely a point in your favor. So similar, but different. Now again, you can notice color difference. One thing I like about this one is the shovel has a little peg that slots in, so the shovel won't go anywhere, whereas this wiggles. I mean, it's not really going to go anywhere unless you deliberately wiggle it, but I do like the additional reinforcement there. And this one has a little more silver on the sides, so it seems like this one has a little more deco, whereas this has silver within the treads, a little deco in front, but this one also has deco in front, so he looks a little plain. I'm sure if they haven't already, Toy Axe is working on some kind of add-on. It probably already been featured on Patriot Prime at some point. I'm not a super sticker person, but you know, I appreciate stickers sometimes. I do like when they don't really need stickers and they look good, but I think this one might benefit from some stickers. All right, so the rolling test. was definitely in his favor. So the new Bonecrusher from shovel to end is about 4.5 inches long, whereas the Combiner Wars is about 5 and like 5/8. So again, definitely a difference in size. I mean, they're both cool. I'm glad I have them both. Yes, do I wish that I had the Takara one? Sure, but I don't. So I'm not made of money. People seem to think I am, but I'm not made of money. Can't buy everything I want. So there you go. We have the Studio Series and the Combiner Wars. And you guys let me know in the comments which you think is better. Now, I'll put links to both of these guys in the description. And in some cases, you may have to get the full Devastator, though I'm sure some enterprising soul has pieced them out just to cause people anguish as different people buy different limbs. I don't know. I wouldn't parse it out. I could see G1s being parsed out because you might just need a hook, because who doesn't? I mean, I never had a problem with it, but there were a lot of broken ones. But I'll put links to, again, the Studio Series. You should hopefully be able to find it at retail. And I'll put a link to eBay in case you couldn't find it at retail. But it's fun. I'm glad I have them both. I have so many Devastators. I'm going to have to do like a special video just showing all the Devastators, including the one that's made from Build King, I think. I think I might still have that one. It might not have gone on the purge. I'll have to check. Be disappointed if it did. But they are both fun in their own ways. And speaking of fun, I hope you're having fun, enjoying the videos. And if you are, by all means, feel free to subscribe. And in case you're not aware, we now have Toy Spotlite memberships. You can become a toy hunter and enjoy a monthly members-only live stream where I show wacky stuff from my collection. I share stories and theories and weird headcanon of my own and some coming attractions of videos that are coming. So it's a lot of fun. You should join. And while you are mulling over which or both of these to get, also check out this video over here, which is actually a comparison between the Combiner Wars and a smaller, undersized KO of the Combiner Wars. It's a pretty good video. Check it out. And we will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.